welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Pittman. Albert, from time to time we like to do shows, especially with the holidays ahead, and we do these evergreen shows where you could watch it today, you could watch it next week, you could watch it next month, and it's still relevant. And what we've done, I think this is going to interest the fans. The most exciting sports events that we watch, enjoy, etc. Now, what might be your cup of tea, NASCAR, might not be mine, hockey. What might be mine, NBA. Some guy, all my buddies, they hate the NBA. They all walk every play, get off my lawn. But I know what you mean. I'm the same with, like the other day, I'm watching, and they're interviewing the guy that won the cornhole championship. And she goes, put into words. I snapped that thing so fast. Have we gotten there? We don't have cornhole on here, do we?
You know, somebody likes it.
Thank God.
Thinking about that. Somebody likes it. Somebody will watch that.
No.
We wouldn't think about. We wouldn't watch that for a second.
No, I'd rather watch Young Sheldon reruns. But let's start at the top of it. This is your event, and you've gotten me to where anytime I see a boop overtime, boy, because I don't want to miss it. Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Stanley Cup is our first one we'll mention. These are not in any order, but the Stanley Cup is a series. 16 games you have to win. Nothing short of that. You have to get through it. Every 7-game series is a hit series that you try to get through. They play through injuries. They try to get to the greatest trophy ever given out, the Stanley Cup.
You know, I'm convinced. You said something. You meant it figuratively, but it is literal. You have to get through it.
Oh no, that's why they're so tough.
It's like the other day, I said, team, their goalie, he's done.
Right.
He shot. Somebody ran at him, and he shot. And the Penguins were playing with the third stringer.
Right.
You're not going to win the Stanley. Now,
First
of all, we've talked about hot goalies. You taught me that. But even if you didn't, I know you're not winning with the popcorn man.
Yeah, and so the Stanley Cup includes all what George just said. You're hoping your goalie gets hot at the right time. You're hoping you don't get hurt so beat up that you're playing with fourth and fifth stringers. You're hoping, but it happens. And some teams make it through and some teams don't. But when you get the Lord Stanley Cup waiting for you, the hockey is just action-packed. And a 2-1 game is exciting as a 7-6 game, especially, George, when it goes overtime. You know, and they don't have a...
Nobody to Dairy Queen. Let's give them the puck too. They didn't get the puck twice. Play.
Yeah, like football. Yeah, football.
Yeah. Football we've turned into Dairy Queen.
Yeah, so they're arguing over who has the ball. Stop somebody, you win.
You know, if you stop them, you get into 50.
Yeah, you do.
You got a real chance with these kickers.
Play a little defense, right. So in the Stanley Cup, it's the next goal wins. You'll see 7 or 8 great saves. They show the fans are on the edge of their seat, and that is a no-miss for me.
Me too.
The Stanley Cup Finals it was number one on our list. Remember, no order involved, but that's the first one we talked about.
And I want to run back a little bit with the hockey for you because you kind of brought me a little more around. The other thing we saw one year a 7 and an 8, and I've heard you say just get in.
Yeah,
it's not like basketball.
Very seldom. Basketball, if the 8th seed wins.
No.
It's a major upset.
I think 3-1s only happened to him.
Yeah, most times it's going to be one of the 3 or 4 best teams is going to win that thing. Hockey, that's what they want to say, but it doesn't always happen that way. And there's a variety of reasons we just mentioned before. And number one is a hot goalie. You can fire 60 shots at the guy, and if he's hot and he keeps stopping save after save, you can move on. So Stanley Cup Finals is exciting also in that the teams don't like each other. Like in the NBA, which is still going to make our list. I guarantee it makes our list.
Yeah.
They shake hands. I mean, they hug.
The same agent. Probably we're together this after. We'll be together at the club after the game.
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah, they're gonna try to hurt each other on that ice.
This is a handshake that is more of what it represents, sportsmanship,
after the
than
game.
An actual,
after the series, yes.
Let me kiss this guy and move on. They want to punch him.
Yeah, after the series. After the game, they don't go on handshake. They don't handshake anybody after a game. But after the series, one of the greatest respected things in sports is when they have the line, and they get the handshake, and every single guy goes through it. Everybody, you notice, they look each other in the eyes, they say something to them, and It's well respected, no question.
Yeah, and you also talked about, like, with the Penguins, the local team. You know, Sidney Crosby, he's running around there like the Ice Capades in January, February.
Yeah, so different.
Then come May, and all of a sudden there's this dude with his elbow under his ribs when he turns.
Yeah, that's another thing about you. You have to be so great a player to handle the Stanley Cup because you're a marked man. They're coming after you, and there's no rules. There's no rules like they're not allowed to be double teamed. They're not allowed to say they can hit you with 3 guys. I mean, it's a different sport altogether. If you're a great player, you're getting manhandled for 7 games, no question.
Absolutely. Our second event is just happened a few weeks ago.
Yes, it did.
And I have a cousin who is a nut. He goes to Saratoga for a month in August, and he is a horse racing fanatic. And really, what I notice about the Kentucky Derby more than anything is the amount of people who are just there to see or be seen or whatever.
Right.
It's not a bettor's race by any stretch. Between the 20 horses,
Right.
the traffic, the horse getting spooked because of the 100,000+ people, it's not a bettor's race, but it is a spectacle.
And George led into that perfectly. If you follow the Kentucky Derby, it's the longest running sports event in our country. Started back in 1875. And each year, you'll see celebrities. You'll see guys like us. I have 2 friends that have gone to every one since they've been born. I'm old enough to go.
The people in the infield all muddied up.
Yes.
And everything. Then there are people up on top with $200 women's hats on.
You can tell the ones with their outfits who have the
Hey,
money.
I missed the word there that is synonymous, and you alluded to it: tradition.
Yeah, there's so much tradition in Kentucky Derby. From the time when they come on the track to singing the song "My Old Kentucky Home," those aspects of the race makes it one of the most exciting sports in history. And George, they even call it the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing too, excuse me, with the singing, "My Old Kentucky Home,"
Also, big time.
Southern culture. It's almost like going to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, the culture, and they take that song really serious.
Yes, they do.
If you'll hear the crowd quiet and then singing. If you're going to Kentucky Derby, you honor the tradition of that race. Also, it's the hardest race to win.
Oh. We're not bad
year.
on the other 2. You and I aren't bad on the other 2. The Derby, I always say, I'll give you a number, but that's all it is. It's a number.
And we happen to be doing it in a year when an 80-to-1 horse won. Yeah. And so that proves the point that...
From Youngstown.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, you got races right over in Austin.
Yes, he does. And so Kentucky Derby made our list in the most exciting events. And anybody who's a horse player or likes spectacles, as George said, would love the Kentucky Derby.
And I didn't realize, but they played through the Depression and World War II. They ran.
They didn't stop.
No,
they didn't stop. That's how serious it is. Yes.
We've been past Churchill, but we've never actually been.
We drove by that highway.
Yeah,
the highway's right there.
The thing that I don't, the track itself, Churchill, what I don't like is the time between races.
That's why
they want that.
It's a spectacle. That's why they want it. Yes.
Yeah, but I watch on a Wednesday, and I'm like, geez, oh man, are they going to get in the game?
Yeah, we like action. That's why.
We want one. Remember Thistle and River every 10 minutes? That was right up our alley. We no sooner got to the window, lost. We get back and lose again.
Yes.
Now here's one. This is all you need. I'm not going to give you the event. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, that
You don't need the
signifies
event.
for you people out there that are really fans. And I mean, they are niche fans of NASCAR. You go on Twitter and you'll see people, all they write about is NASCAR. They don't think any other sport exists, and that's the Daytona 500. It is the Super Bowl of NASCAR. And George, you know what's interesting about the NASCAR Super Bowl? Comes first. It comes first. Think about that. It's so different.
And you're set for life. It's
yes.
much like winning the U.S. Open in golf or
Right.
Wimbledon. You're not Al Campman any longer. You're Al Campman, Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah, and NASCAR, people who speak reverently about that sport really raise another channel to the Daytona 500.
And let's say this too. Nobody, they in country music, 1 and 1A, know how to treat their fans.
They always do it that way.
Yesterday, I'm watching the All-Star race. They have Blake Shelton there, and they're introducing them like hoops. And next, the 24 car, and these guys are coming out to rock music, throwing hats into the stands. No, when I tell you,
That's amazing.
I got goosebumps,
That's
and
amazing.
I'm not a NASCAR fan.
Right.
But let's say this: they know how to treat their fans. Now, gas prices have hurt them tremendously.
Coming in from all around the country,
people with
yes.
the vans and
they do come in from
You
everywhere.
know, you say that of Penn State football. You know,
Yes.
there's only 6 games. These guys are running every week for 20-some weeks.
Yeah, and NASCAR is growing. It's not like it's deteriorating. It's growing all the time, and you see the stands always filled to capacity. They have legend names: Petty, Earnhardt. You know, those
Jimmy
are
Johnson, Kel Yarber, and in the original it was the bootleggers.
yes.
If
That's
you
how they started.
If you watch the old Dukes of Hazzard,
That's how it
I want
started.
to tell you something about this. Is funny because I have a buddy who's just into it the way you know basketball, football. He says, you know, in the old days, the guys were you either with Earnhardt or you're with Jeff Gordon.
Right.
It was that simple.
Oh, I agree with that.
But see, they were fast buddies. People didn't know it. They'd sit in the garage on a tire, and they'd talk about how they could make more money. See, they were both
They're pretty smart.
wise enough to know that the feud was good, but what was even better was
cash
the
behind it.
green behind it.
Yeah.
And they said they would sit in the garage on a tire discussing business props, and they both made a fortune.
Yeah, this started in 1959 and is growing every year. So NASCAR makes our list, and the part of NASCAR that really makes the list is the Daytona 500.
And you know, Richard Petty, the King Richard. I mean, there's nothing to say. Like, he's royalty. He's not like, I don't know if there's somebody in another sport. I'm sure there is, but it comes to mind. But he's royal. I heard these guys talking, and they said the one you like Marty and those guys McGee on. They were talking about.
Oh, they love
meeting
NASCAR.
and they loved him because they felt they were in the presence of something
Special,
special.
yes.
Now here's the one. I would say this too. You know, your wife will duck in on the World Series or the Super Bowl. Wimbledon. Now, I'm not a tennis fan per se, but when it's on, and when it gets, when they get some of the riffraff out. Oh, there's always an upset or two. Like today, and Osaka got beat in the first
French
day,
Open.
and the girl that won the last major got beat. So it can't happen. But this Wimbledon, is it the grass? Is it the royalty in the box? What is it that makes it so special?
That's what it is. You just named everything about it. You know, when you're talking about Wimbledon Stadium in London, it is everything to tennis fans, and they set their calendar to the Wimbledon. You'll see it. It's on grass. All the big time players are involved, and it's a fast-paced game on the grass. Everything about Wimbledon, and the big names always show up, and that's their go-to. Like
Federer.
Oh yeah,
He's synonymous.
Oh yeah, all these guys, Nadal, Federer,
Nadal,
yeah,
forgetting
they're all
French.
part of that. And because George and I are not tennis buffs, does not stop us from saying, in tennis, this is like the Daytona 500. In tennis, this is like the World Series in America, and the royalty, as George said, that's involved.
I remember seeing Johnny Carson over there. That's what I remember the most. He was a tennis nut.
Yes.
And he used to make sure he took his vacay to watch Wimbledon.
Yeah, there are bucket lists for all people in the world, and if you're a tennis buff, that bucket list cannot be complete without Wimbledon. It's the appeal of upsets. It's the appeal of the great players. Big on TV, always. And you're talking about the game changing with the rackets now, how they hit the ball 130 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was different with wood than titanium.
Yeah.
It's like golf. The woods were actually wooden.
Truly, yes.
Now they're titanium.
Yeah, so tennis, the equipment has made it amazing what they do. It's a spectacle also. Just like we said, the Kentucky Derby, you'll see it filled up with famous celebrities, people who think this is the place to be, and I think it should be because Wimbledon is the number one tennis match in the world.
So it's watched the most too, like
by far,
the
yes.
TV ratings.
By far, yes.
I've watched it. You know, with the time difference, sometimes you get up a little early.
Well, America, it's hard because,
Yeah.
but in the world, you know, the tennis,
Absolutely.
Wimbledon's everything. Yes.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it myself, and I know how hard the NCAA basketball is. 64 teams, that's 6 wins.
Right.
This is 7 wins.
Yeah, it is. And so,
And by the time you win the first 3, guess what? The bad players are gone. There might be a bad player or two in the whole
when we
field.
say bad, we're
Yeah,
talking about.
they're not, yeah, bad for there.
Yeah, for Wimbledon, yeah.
Nobody could knock the racket out of our hands.
These are the best players in the world.
No.
But that's why it's important to get seeded. You want a high seed, so you're not meeting one of your nemesis in the second or third round. You know, you want to at least get all the way into the quarterfinals. That's your goal. So you want to be a seed, a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed. So you try to stay away from playing Nadal or playing somebody early in the match.
Now the next one is this is my consolation this spring and summer. When I hear the Masters, and I know Jim Nance is going to be coming there, the old tradition like any other.
That's
No
true.
longer, they're not allowed to call them fans.
No, hold on.
Patrons.
Yeah, the ones. This one is totally tradition, and it totally blows my mind that they do things that blow you out of the water, George. You know, when you're talking about the Masters, they didn't allow women for so long.
Now tell them about the guy that said the greens were too fast, like a bikini wax.
Yeah, he was out.
They pulled him right off the thing. It was in the middle of the round.
His job was gone immediately. Not everybody thinks about dropping a piece of paper, because it is. If you went down there, I have never been, but I have people have been there.
Yeah.
You can eat off.
Not an easy ticket either, by the way.
Not an easy ticket either. But you can eat off the grass. You can eat off anything because it's immaculate, and a lot of people don't realize how hilly it is. You know how you have to walk the walk. It's a cherished green jacket that you put on when you walk.
And then if you win, you sponsor the dinner the next year or something like this.
Yeah, the green jacket is everything.
Tradition.
Yeah, so that's, when you put that on, you'll see the smile and the tears of kids who grew up with golf clubs in their hands and have had this goal the whole time in their life. And it's the only big tournament that never changes.
Yeah, the others, you better explain that.
Well, the U.S. Open plays different courses.
Like they've been in Pittsburgh.
And PGA just left Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's all over. It's moved. The British Open moves at different places but every year the Masters are played one place, Augusta, and it's Amen Corner, 13, 14, 15 is knocks people out all the time. They get there and they check the wind and they check it again. They check it again. Many upsets in the Masters. It's not always the favorite goes in and wins that. Only Tiger and Jack Nicklaus are two that would do it over and over. That's how good they were.
Well, and they were better probably than any two players in the history.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they were good for their month or something.
No, I think they were.
And that's why I thought Tiger would have trouble with that leg because of that. And remember, in case some people might not, you have to walk it. Maybe some people don't know that.
You're walking every time.
You have to walk. He's not carrying his gloves, but he's walking.
They don't allow no carts. No, that's out.
No. Now, how about the NBA final?
That's George's bag. George likes the NBA now a lot. I'm not an NBA guy. I don't like the way the style of the game plays. But once again, it's a rundown that you have to get through series.
Cross off 16.
I do think that's a home court advantage type of thing in my mind. That they play better at home because of the lesser players play better. George has made that clear to me over and over and over.
Yeah, it's not. That's one thing. The Spurs used to put the 16 across and cross them off when they won. It looks daunting just from the
series part. That's
not
right.
Easy.
And the NBA Finals was on its downslide, and until Larry Bird and Magic Johnson made their appearance. And when they did, TV picked it up. It became a must-watch TV for kids. And today, it's still must-watch for kids. LeBron, our local player, is one of those guys that made it that way.
And let's tell too, a lot of people don't realize there was a time when that league was on oxygen.
Oh, no, they were going
and
down.
the games were replayed after the late news.
Yeah, exactly.
Now think people, now there are 77 games a week on, and back when they were playing before Bird and Magic.
Right. It
You
was
might
done.
have had to watch it after
On a Sunday,
11:30
on Sunday, you might have a Sunday afternoon game
Yeah.
of the week. That's the only time you see it. No question about
And
it.
here's the one. I'll never get away from this one, although I think they've damaged it a little bit with their 4 games in one day, 2 night games on after kids go to bed. The World Series.
Yeah, the World Series would be my favorite of all.
It was.
And if it was still baseball the way it was played when I watched it for well, let's see, I'm 68. I'll say for 62 years. The last 5 years, it started going downhill with this analytics. I don't want to hear about why a pitcher who pitched the 7th inning.
Oh, you kids are eighth.
He struck out the side. Out the 7th inning.
No, he's out.
And he's not allowed to come in.
He
the 8th
can't
inning.
go through the lineup another time.
But you do make your name in the World Series. And
Mazeroski?
Yeah, Pirates. I'm a Pirate fan, and Bill Mazeroski will always be my guy in 1960.
Let me ask you.
That happened.
They talk about Joe Carter, whatever, with this nonsense. Is it possible to hit a bigger homer than Game 7, bottom 9? I say no.
No, it's never. No.
What could top it?
It can't. There isn't. That's why it goes down as one of the 3 or 4 greatest things ever done in big events. And Mazeroski's home run when they come on the field and they were waiting for him and he has the hat in his hand. But you want to be famous in October. That's what you do in the World Series. Reggie Jackson was one of those guys.
That's the greatest
that hit the home
nickname of
run.
all times. Could you be a better one?
Mr. October.
Or when he called Dave Winfield Mr. May.
That's amazing. But baseball's still my game. It's still my. It was once America's game. I don't think it is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, but that's what's happened in America. Part fan base, part game, how the game's played.
You know what else is a shame too? 6.8% American black.
Oh yeah, they don't play.
Pathetic.
Yeah, they don't play this sport.
You know what?
They play basketball.
That's another
football.
reason. In our day, the great athletes played baseball. Dick Rowe played
yes.
baseball.
Yes,
He was a pro in NBA.
Yeah.
Today, they're not in baseball.
No, they're not thinking about baseball.
No.
Yeah, it's the Latinos, they're serious about it.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican people, they're serious.
Yeah, Venezuelans.
But in our country,
6.8%.
the black kids don't play.
World Cup. Now, worldwide, nothing like it.
Yeah, if you ask what the most famous thing in the world is, event in the world, no question, the World Cup, hands down. I have an Italian friend that coaches with me.
He cried that one year.
Crying. I said, "What are you crying about, JD?" He said, "We didn't make it. We didn't make the World Cup." It blew. He was crying real tears. The ethnicity.
Ethnicity,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Is everything about the World Cup.
Absolutely.
They are all in and
for their country.
all year representing their country. And it's on the world stage. It's not on the United States stage.
Now, our women,
We're good.
take on anybody.
Yeah, we're good.
Our men, if we make the tournament, there's a celebration.
Yeah, it's the truth. Just making the tournament.
We've tried the clubs. We've tried pulling these kids out of 15. And nothing seems to answer the fact the best athletes in their country are there.
Yeah, that's the answer.
And ours are playing in the Final Four.
Yeah, because I have a friend in Sweden, and I said he played semi-pro basketball. He played basketball in Europe, and he coaches basketball. I said, "How's basketball going?" He said, "It's a fight every day." He says, "I got 15 kids, 14 of them go to soccer practice. One of them will come to basketball."
There you go.
Yeah, soccer's a world stage. It really is. That's why the World Cup on the world stage, I think, is the biggest in here.
Here's mine, March Madness. Nothing like it. I used to take my personal days.
So did
when
I.
I was a teacher, I'd take the 2 halves, the first Thursday and Friday, because I didn't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, and George and I coached basketball 30 years. We love March Madness. It was essential watching teams get better. Once again, it's lost its appeal to me now because of the one and dones. But from a standpoint of excitement,
Survive in advance.
of the little schools trying to make their name.
Butler. George Mason.
Yes.
Nothing like it.
No, and this year's team up in blank on it. Jeez, oh man, coach went to Seton Hall.
Yeah, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's. Yeah, this year was St. Peter's.
Yes.
They made their name, and people started buying St. Peter's hats out of nowhere because
never happened.
March Madness is a tremendous spectacle, and it's also the big moneymaker.
Oh yeah.
For the NCAA.
Hey, we have 2 left. We'll save the big one for last, the Super Bowl. But how about the Olympics?
Well, Olympics is run by country pride, and Coach K, who's won million championships at Duke, when they asked him what's his greatest thrill, he said winning the Olympics by far.
And he was in the Army, don't forget, too.
Yes. And so that national anthem's played at the Olympics.
It gets me.
Yeah, it gets anybody who knows about your country, who cares about your country. Now, to me, once again, because I'm an old dinosaur and I admit it, I liked them much better when it was amateurs.
And they really weren't, though.
Yeah, I'm talking
about basketball in particular.
I'm talking about the American.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think they ever were really. As far as getting paid and stuff under the table and things like that.
I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I meant
the real
kids.
professional.
I meant college kids.
Yeah, right.
I meant college kids playing. That's what I meant.
The basketball. I'd rather see them lose than bring the dream.
But they're going to win.
Yeah,
if they don't win,
I blame John Thompson.
It's a joke.
I still blame John Thompson.
Yeah, when he lost, he took it out. But but there are lesser sports we haven't covered here today that in archery and cross country skiing, you go right down the line.
Yeah.
Win or lose. The United States is played. That song is played for them also, and they put all their time. I want people to understand how much effort is put into these sports.
Here's my thing with them: the fact you got to wait for. If you stub your toe, or you hit the hurdle, you got to wait 4 years.
Yeah, you do. And there's a lot of there's a short window to the age.
Yeah.
So say it's from 18 to 20. You can only be good from 18 to 26. You got 2 chances, and after that, you go home. And the gold medal has made many a guy rich.
Oh yeah. They say it valued at least $1 million.
Yeah. So that's
the last one's in our country. When do they eat the most food? Okay, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. When do they sell the most wings? Super Bowl. When they sell the most. I have a buddy. Steelers were in the Super Bowl. I'm talking to him. I said, remember the year they were in Detroit?
Right.
I think it was played Seattle. I said, what'd you do? He said, I'll tell you what I did. He said, I sold 2,000 pizzas and closed the shop. He said, I was out of dough.
Yeah. It's a different day. It's a holiday now.
Yeah.
And the NFL has made that happen in our country. As I said before, America's game is baseball to me, but to most fans in America now, it's football. They've taken over the channels on TV year round. They've done everything, but the Super Bowl is the climax. It's an all-day affair. They start in the morning and they play it at 6 o'clock at night. It's really become something else.
Now, your wife, who doesn't like sports, she'll pop in for that.
She likes commercials.
Oh, Jesus.
That's another thing Super Bowl does.
No.
She doesn't care about the game as much as she does the Super Bowl. No. But she'll watch the halftime, too. She'll want to know who's performing at halftime. So it is. It's a total entertainment. It is an entertainment basis.
Remember the first one? It was on 2 networks at the same time, and they messed the kickoff, and they had a do-over.
Yeah, redo it.
Did you see a do-over today?
Yeah, redo it. I taped it. I have that in my file. They say you cannot have that. I have it. I have it put away. But the Super Bowl is a day. It's really a holiday. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's really where it's come to.
There's been talk of making that Monday. People with a better idea said, well, let's play it Saturday night. Then people can literally have Sunday off.
I know one thing. If they're playing it where they are, the NFL knows. Because they don't make any mistakes.
Last time they made a mistake, we had hair in our heads.
Yes.
Right? Hey, you heard it here. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.